Starting stream. Okay. Morning, Diego. Morning. Let me get my chat so it's on my actual screen instead of there. Potential for the 80% rule to apply today. Obviously, only the first thing that's happened has happened so far. The first thing that needs to happen, where we are obviously significantly outside of previous day's value at the open. So if we do get back up here, then we can look for the 80% rule to play out, but by the looks of it, pretty bearish off the open, so. I'm going to log every B rank trade I see at the open because the bounce at the previous week's point of control was so clean. Once I have enough sample size, I'll start considering those. Yeah, good call. Yeah, that was a very clean bounce right at the open. I've always just had a big fucking caution flag. Trades like right at the New York Open, like a minute afterwards. I've always had a big caution flag on those, but no problem with them. No problem with other people taking them. It's just for me personally, it seems like they just never really work out. But yeah, that was very clean. Stacked levels. I wasn't even like at the charts when I saw this. I literally just sat down. Yeah, breaking below the previous week's point of control. We bounced up from the previous week's value area high and then came down, retested it a fair few times before actually breaking underneath. I'm trying to scroll out to yesterday. So here was yesterday. That bounce off previous week's value area high. Then it retested it so clean, like just before 11:30. I was obviously done on the day, so, but we had like a value area low of the current session overlapping with previous week value area high. That was such a clean long in there right before 11:30. Then it came back up, retested again, bounced, retested, bounced, broke through more significantly, but got brought back up into the close. And then overnight, it's managed to break through, just after London. And now here we are. Yeah, I wouldn't probably be opposed to a break and retest of this previous week. Point of control, overnight value area, low level. Let's get my developing POC on here. POC, developing volume profile. Yeah, see, once this hits 10 AM, I'm probably, if we have something here, then I will be taking that. Do we have any news today? Do we have PPI today, or was that yesterday? No, that was today. There wasn't much of an 8:30 boom, was there? Or was there? No, not really at all. Weird. PPI is normally a pretty big one. Cami does have an A rank in the playbook, so I had a limit order at previous day's point of control. He has an A rank. What do you mean he has an A rank in the playbook? That is so messy up there. Oh wait, you mean, yeah, never mind. I see what you mean. Up at previous day's point of control, 3 stacked levels. I'm assuming that's what you mean. Almost 4, but definitely 3. Previous day's point of control to previous week's value area high. I really like this. It's just like that is absolutely a B. So really, I could have taken that 5.89. I just don't like. I'm making sure I don't take anything before 10. That's just a personal rule, but that is absolutely a valid B setup there. Break and retest. You would want like a 72. You'd want something like that, I would guess, as a stop. That's what I'd be doing if it were me. But I'm giving the first 30 minutes the time it needs to get into its to develop. An A rank taken before the 30-minute is passed. Oh right, okay. Did the delta reset? Yeah, it did. Interesting, we're not getting a lot of... we're actually getting exhaustion here. You can see the delta, the 932 low broke on price, but it didn't on the delta, so that's exhaustion actually, which is interesting. I'm so cold in my room today. I've turned this... Is this radiator on? Yeah, it's fucking... Jesus. It is on. Just needs to heat the room up a bit. Goddamn UK. So I wonder if, because we're not getting much follow through with Delta here, if that's going to play a factor at all. Or it might not matter. We shall see. Like I said, this would be A rank if this 30-minute or this volume profile had developed enough. It's still argue, I guess. I don't know. Could you argue it? It's definitely B. That. Yeah. Be as it is, yeah, exactly. Yeah, after the first 30 minutes, for sure. If it's still, well, I mean, it's realistically, it's the only entry we're probably going to get on the short side today, because the only other value levels we have is previous week's value area low, which obviously could offer something, but this is the ideal spot. Definitely going to get a point of control shift coming here soon. You can see how close this point of control is, this node, from the actual point of control. Still, Delta is holding up. I want to see, it's going to be interesting to see this most recent low we just put in, the 945 low, how Delta and price break that if they do. Am I on the right account? Yeah. Swapped accounts after yesterday. Unfortunate. I'm still torn on whether I should have taken that first trade yesterday. I was very happy with the second one. I made a little school group, but Cammy hasn't gone round to giving feedback, so I might have to just ping him one more time if he doesn't reply to like tomorrow or something, because I'm very curious whether or not that whole like idea of the previous week's value area high, if I should have taken it or not. I'm curious what Cammy's thoughts are. Yeah, the second was really clean. I was very happy with the second one. It's just a shame that it had to I had to dial my risk back because I lost the first trade. That's another reason, like I might just only take A's for the first setup, I don't know. Just because the first setup really determines my day for me, just because of how I manage my risk. If the first trade loses, I'm guaranteed a red day. If it wins, I'm guaranteed a green day, or the very worst, break even. So I want this to not be, there we go. You can see we're getting absorption of the sellers there, or the buyers there. That's a good sign. Like, kind of makes me want to take, like, I'm getting so tempted to take this, but I won't because of my rules. Can't until 10 AM. And even when I do, it's going to be something like this. Yeah, we're getting massive absorption there. Point of control just shifted. See the delta, the highs and the lows, compare them to price, mainly the highs for the absorption of the buyers here. I really didn't actually need the development profile here, it's more so the rule I don't want to enter before 10. But like I had plenty of complementers there. I had the 2 stacked value levels and I had the delta telling me the absorption of the buyers was happening, so. Very early trades today. It's interesting though, you can see that the delta is still not, it's breaking highs but not breaking lows. That is bearish though, because if delta's rising but price isn't, it's bearish. Buyers are just being more and more absorbed. I am going to just go ahead and throw my limit order here just because the delta is giving me the extra compliments. I'm close enough to 10 now. Doesn't have to be like a strict 30 minutes realistically, does it? You know what? I am tempted to actually give my stop a little bit more breathing room here though as well. Or a little less breathing room rather. What's the ATR? 5.6. So if we go for like... I'm kind of happy with that, to be honest. Close enough to 10. I just want the limit order ready. I don't think I'll get filled until 10 anyway. I just want the limit order there, just in case it pops up like a couple minutes. I don't want it to pop up a couple minutes before. Like this, I was like tempted. That was 5-6 minutes before. So if it's put a pop up again, I want to be in it. Just because I'm pretty confident in this. We have the 2 stack value levels. We have buyers being absorbed in the delta. So if we can get back up here one more time, then I want to be in it. But if we just melt off, then we'll have to reassess at previous week's value area low. You can see I've taken my depth of market tool off as well. I wasn't like not that much of a fan of it, to be honest. I liked it. It's cool to watch. It's fun to see, like the orders, but I don't really know how much it was actually helping me and how much it was just kind of adding to my thought process and just complicating things. Like this, the volume profile in the CVD is more than enough. So. Whoa. Right down to previous week's value area low. Look at that. That'd be nice to then, for it to then break, and then we can get a high volume node, previous week's value area low, potentially current session value area low if it wants to get down. I'm staying where I am with my limit order for now, but if that happens, then I'll move my limit order down to the previous week's value area low if we break below. But yeah, that was hella clean, super clean reaction. Literally popped down straight to it and bounced off of it. Yeah, first reaction to any levels is something that I was interested in at one point. I didn't really end up getting that interested in it in the end, but first reaction to like previous day levels, overnight levels, and previous week levels, 100%, 100% a something to track. Clean 20-30 tick reaction, yeah, easily. Yeah, I think that's why Cami likes the Asian session a lot, because obviously in the Asian session a lot of times you get the first tap of the previous day levels, which can be a pretty potent reaction. And that is the, we are getting a node here, so I am actually anticipating a breakthrough of this previous week's value area low here, because we are getting a bit of a node forming along here pretty nicely. Yeah, that's the first time we've touched previous week's value level, huh? Oh, value area low this week. Peter in the community is a fan of those. Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, it's C rank, but it's like it's a different category of C rank, right? Because like a C rank just without context, obviously that's the difference between like a good C rank. It's like a C plus, I guess you could say. If it's like just a value level on its own, but once you start adding like things like maybe you're reading the context of the current developing profile, and then you also note that it's the first tap of that specific value level, that C rank, I bet, starts to become more and more reliable. That node above is A rank territory, I'd say. The node performing right now, potentially. If we can break below. Honestly, if we can break above or below. Preferably below, though. I like the idea that we're forming this node right below, and then we're going to break through it, and then we can come the other side and retest, continue. That's what I'm looking for. Which would look something like this. I'm on my way right now. Yeah. Why does it always do that? It's like moves two ticks. There you go. More than happy to take that trade if we break previous week's value area low. Much more of a node than the break yesterday of the weekly level than we have. Might probably just nudge the stop up a tiny bit. That's 7 points, so I think 8 points is a good way to go for this trade. I love an 8-pointer. Love me ginger, love me tender. Oh, I never turned the music down. God damn it. Apologies. I don't know how much that's been affecting how I sound, but hopefully I sound easier to hear now. These are the two trades I got waiting. One's not formed yet, obviously, but if we get a deep retracement here to point of control, I'll take that. If we get a break of previous week's value area low, I'll take the break and retest. Really, you could even go for a long here, like trading the edge of this node here. You actually could technically do that, and it wouldn't be a bad trade, in my opinion. If you were to take something like that, I really would not hate that trade. B rank, but not terrible at all. I'd say this is A rank here because we have two value levels and the point of control in a downtrending day. I'm happy to take it. Whereas this is currently B rank, but potentially will be A rank by the time that we get the actual setup to form. What's Adela doing? Not much, really. Not much to read. I usually go for 20 ticks, but ATR is so high, I think I might go for 30. Yeah, I mean, I adjust mine depending on the day. I normally go from anywhere from like 5 to 8 points, I would say. So, what's that? That's 20 to 20. 8 times 4. 24. I normally go for 20 to 24. 32. Fucking 8 times 4. Dumbass. For some reason I did 5 times 6. Yeah, I normally go from anywhere between 20 ticks and 32 ticks, I'd say. Today's a 32 tick sort of day for me, personally. I like 8 points. I work in points really, not ticks. Obviously it's not hard to convert really because just times it by 4 or divide it by 4. My sugar, my honey, my tender lover. We're potentially going to get some exhaustion of buyers here, by the looks of it. Or not. That is a fat node we've put in. Just above previous week's value area high. Value area low. Value area low. Did we ever come back and retest previous day's value area low, by the way? I'm assuming we did. Probably during Asia. Oh wait, did we? Did we? Not really. No, interesting. Okay. Oh my god, I got filled. What the fuck? Okay, I'm getting out of that because that's clearly something that was news to me. I'm out. I'm not sitting about in that. No, thank you. That looked like news, so I'm out. I'm just checking. Yeah, straight out. Not fucking about. As soon as I see price moving like that out of nowhere, I'm out. See his CVD skyrocketing too. Was that even news? It just felt, that felt like a news. I literally looked and it was like popped like a news candle that like would. But I don't know if it actually was anything or not. I'm on your way right now. I mean, it would have been stopped there, so good thing. I'm just going to get rid of that trade there completely because, yeah. Took a B rank at the overnight value earlier, 26 to hold my breath for a bit, but done. Nice. I'm trying to find out if it was a news spike or not still. Can't see anything. Forex Factory's pretty naff for it though. Let me go on something like investing. Could have been algos, who knows, yeah. Got it in my trade out after the spike, yeah. Took some conviction, yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't even know, what did I made $54 on that one. I just saw that it was spiking fast and I was like, nope, I want no part of that. That doesn't look like normal price movements. I actually do think that was just like algo stuff, but god, it was so like fast that out of nowhere that it just made me want to get out. Good thing I did, because it would have lost, so. Obviously we tapped previous week's value area low there as well, so. I'm just kind of counting that as like a scratch trade really. I'm gonna pretend that trade didn't even happen even though it won. I'm gonna keep my risk like normal. Like that trade, I will still take another 2 trades today. That trade is like literally didn't happen in my mind. Potentially actually looking for longs though as well here, which is something. After bouncing off previous week's value area low there. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I would have to watch it back, to be honest. Let me go into like a second chart here. 15-second chart. It was right there, wasn't it? Let me add my fills. I don't know if it would have, to be honest. Sold 3 at 960, and I was going for 52. So let's go to like a 5-second chart. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Oh no, I think it would have been break even at the very least, yeah. I sold at 360 and I was going for 8 points, so I sold up here. You can't see that, let me drag it down here. I sold up here at 960. And then it spiked all the way down to 52.50, so I actually don't know if I would have got filled, to be honest. It would have been break even. Most likely. Would have been 2 ticks short of my TP, so. Would have come damn close though. Is there a way that I can turn on like unrealized P&L or something on this account? I don't know. I'm not really gonna fuck around this POC here. I wanna watch this now. Get a little bit of a read going. Honestly, don't mind a short all the way up from previous day's value area low. If we can get up there. We obviously rejected previous week's value area low. We've now broke back above previous week's point of control. Crazy previous week's value area low tap though. Literally pretty much bottom ticked it. What was previous week's value area low? Previous week's value area low was 389.00, so 3939 flat, and it got as low as 3 ticks below that, so hell of a C rank trade, I guess. I'm on your wave right now. The C rank when I don't take it, and then the C rank when I do take it. Oh, it was news, by the way. It was something to do with tariffs. Yeah, Supreme Court didn't rule on Trump's tariffs Wednesday. My Forex Factory did actually say it, but it just didn't. It said it did it like ages ago for some reason, but it's Forex Factory glitching. What are you looking for now? Nothing really yet. Waiting for it to show me what it wants to do, really. I've not got a clean read on this. The area that it's in, a pretty like nice drop off in volume there, so that's an idea. If I see absorption on the CVD, or exhaustion preferably, as we approach that, then that would be nice of the buyers. Other idea really is that same previous week's value area low break and retest. I'm not really feeling a buy personally from that level. I would rather see a break. And then obviously we have like, I would short from up there. Just like straight up, no confluence needed. I would just short because we have so many value levels there. I would do that. 8.5, go for like 9.35. I'd do something like that. Pretty happily. But for now, I'm sitting still. Waiting and seeing and waiting. Sellers coming in. Buyers were actually kind of getting absorbed there. Price was falling. CVD wasn't really moving anywhere, so it's hard to say, but sellers are definitely stepping in now. If we can, again, this is where I want to look for this break of the previous week's value area low. We have a pretty tight initial balance actually too. That actually adds a little bit of nicer, like extra confluence really to this break of previous week's value area low. It would be the initial balance low. Initial balance high would be up at 79. Like 70, oh, like 980 basically. 79.75. So yeah, in 30 seconds, initial balance will be set, meaning that if we break this low, it's going to be a pretty nice area for us to break and then retest. With the node, previous week's value area low, initial balance low. Yeah, I don't use initial balance. I just noticed. But yeah, definitely something like that. That's a big stop. Probably go for 10 points. Move. It's not a very pointy node, but it's a node. Maybe it'll get a bit pointier as we break through it, hopefully. Need. Not really comparing like the low on the delta here. Doesn't really make sense to compare the low of day down here and like if we break this low, delta doesn't really work just because it's like half an hour apart, so they're very different auctions. So there's not really much point comparing that. I may as well just zoom in and look for like any short-term low in here or high that we put in and compare the delta on that. You need to be pretty short-term focused on the delta, like within 15 to 20 minutes really is the sweet spot, and the shorter the better. Because like this auction, what the auction looked like here, when we had this price action going on, and then what it looks like now here, completely different auctions, especially because what did we have right in between them? A tariff announcement. So the buyers and sellers are going to be acting very differently. Therefore, it's not really valid to compare the delta on the lows formed in those auctions. Get a nice little like kind of point on that node now. I'm on your wave right now. Whoa. Ugh. I'm going to wrap up for the day during my trade and that's it. Yeah, fair enough. Nice little tariff dub. Tariff announcement dub. I believe the logic Cami teaches for the like anticipating a breakout. I still haven't watched. I'm going to watch the school thing that he put on. He put a section on the school group talking about it. I'm pretty sure. I haven't watched it yet, but I believe the idea is that I've got here is right. Where if we are building volume up below this, well above this level, we're building a lot of volume up here. So I believe that means that we can anticipate a breakout of this level. I think I'm right in saying that. You can see prices actually, we are actually getting exhaustion of the sellers here though. You can see price and the deltas rising. It's not willing to break this low like price is. Actually, it's rising that much, it's almost making me think that it's absorption of the buyers again. It's a bit of both. I would probably honestly leave previous week's value area low, so we'll see if they succeed or not. Obviously, I don't want them to succeed. I want them to fail and get the fuck out of the way. Just look at that. Look how little price has moved in those past, what, 5 to 7 minutes, and look how much the delta has risen. That's showing that's absorption, plain as day. Obviously, doesn't mean that we're going down, but it means that the buyers are currently trying to push it back up and not succeeding at the moment. So if they run out of steam, then we'll break. But if they win, we'll rotate back up. But it gives me more confidence if we continue lower here. It gives me confidence in my short from the break and retest sort of idea, because a lot of the buyers around this level have been absorbed. See if it might tap like the current session value area low or something and then continue. We'll see. Because fuck me, that's still absorbing. Like I say, we also have that initial balance idea. Can't remember what the statistics are for initial balance. I think it's what, like 70 or 80% of days break either side. So obviously, if we're gonna break, we're either gonna break through the 980s or we're gonna break through the 938, which is more likely if we're at 946, 8 points away from the low. Almost 40 points away from the high. Probably going to break the low. That's current session value area low. See if that defends. Yep, flipped red for a second. CBD really is kind of like a tool that you could use to say, like, doing the opposite of the masses, because if the masses are currently selling, or the masters are currently buying into this, they're buying it now. So realistically, if price isn't moving up, that's because there's a whole lot of people selling into all these buyers. So like people selling into the masses. So that's kind of like almost the idea of like smart money, quote unquote smart money. Oh my god. That's funny. You can untick the max bar width and it just makes shit go crazy. Maybe we'll get the break here. We'll see. Looks pretty strong. I want to enter like right on the edge of this value node. I'll happily take that. Like 41.50.
Order filled.
Filled. And then targeting, what, 31.50. Whoa, flushes out. Go, go, go. I'm getting ready to go break even here. We've got like another 2 points until I get break even. I am going to take it down to like 49.50. Cover some of it, because if it gets all the way back up there, I want nothing to do with it. That's break even, I saw it. I'm on your way right now. That got a tick off me, didn't it? Yep.
Order filled.
There we go, order filled. Dub, $200 day. $200 day, boys. I'm going to leave it there, to be honest. Just before 11. I'm happy with that. Very clean trade there, anticipating the breakout. Another clean trade. Could have been a $300 day, really, or close to it. If I had a TP, like, sat on that first trade. But yeah, very happy with that day. Very, very happy. That was a beauty right there. Basically top ticked. What was my entry on that? I think my entry was 41.50. And the high of that candle was 4225, so 3 ticks of drawdown on that to get 40 ticks. Very, very solid. Potentially should have held a runner really on that, but I don't care to be holding a runner, to be honest. Not on that one. Happy to take my $200 day and leave. So yeah, that is all from me, boys. I'll finish it up there today. Let me throw in that original trade entry. There's not point much. I will put it there, but I'll have to like note what happened really on it. Can't remember exactly where my stop loss was. I'll go back and look, but I'll be interested to see how far this goes now. Gonna go journal these trades and chill out for the rest of the day. So I'll catch you boys tomorrow, 9:45 AM. Appreciate you coming and hanging out, and yeah. See you tomorrow.